Hey everybody, this is Tony UV, CEO at VerSprite. Over the past couple of months, there's been a lot of talk by CISOs in the industry about how to engage with the CISO community. I wanted to flip that sort of narrative on its head and talk about how security vendors should engage and portray solutions in the cybersecurity market. I think it's super important and something that I'll have the pleasure to talk about in the upcoming OWASP AppSec conference on the 30th, as I take part in a panel that talks about both supply chain issues and resource issues in the cybersecurity market that are challenges. Now, going back to what I want to talk about, there is a level of stewardship that solution providers, whether they be technology or consultancies that are out there, need to be mindful of when providing and soliciting services in the market. Let me share in terms of what my perspective is, what's going on in terms of providers in the space, and how oftentimes it's riddled, or I would say tainted, by financial goals that are really not trying to solve a problem that we have. We have an epidemic of cybersecurity issues that are just persistent. And a lot of the issues are really poor basic cybersecurity hygiene. And it's the responsibility of solution providers, whether they be, again, technology providers that are offering some level of technology, or service providers that are offering some level of insightful service that's contextual and tailored to their respective clients and industries. It's important that in this battle of cybersecurity warfare that we're engaged in, that we work together, right? Because what happens is that if we do not, there's repercussions in terms of cost of operating a business that affects government, that affects small business, and that affects large enterprises. So let's talk about the reality of the landscape. So on the technology side, there's a lot of innovative technology companies that oftentimes they need funding. And as part of that funding and go-to-market strategy, they are trying to get the word out about their cybersecurity capabilities. This is in the product space, okay? So nothing wrong with any of the things that I'm mentioning. However, once capital is supporting those startup companies, the mission becomes altered, right? So you have private equities that are investing and trying to obviously make a return for their investors. And the cybersecurity market has been one of those areas that has really paid dividends in the past. It's been a little bit more of a troublesome market as of late, but what's most important and most troublesome from a macro standpoint, again, addressing the systemic and epidemic of cybersecurity poor hygiene that exists, is the fact that a lot of the mission, right, and the vision for those technology companies gets altered with now their objectives being turned to more of a financial return on investment, right, for those that are supporting the business. I oftentimes laugh, or not laugh, but look at some of the announcements that are done on social media that, hey, we just went through a particular round, and there's a lot of complimentary remarks on social media, which deservingly so. It's difficult, and it's definitely a milestone as a product company to be able to obtain funding. It's super important. How to use the funding and how to work with those investors to be able to make sure that the mission doesn't get tainted is by far the most challenging part. There's oftentimes, the mission of something altruistic in developing an innovative piece of technology that oftentimes gets clouded into the mission of simply doing an exit, right? So for those out there that are considering, this message is really for investors, for CISOs that are looking to liaise with product or service companies. Understand what the vision is of who you're partnering with, right? Understand the longevity of what their plans signify to you and to your security program. Oftentimes in cybersecurity, it's very much and I've said this before in different types of talks, it's a keeping up with the Joneses type of mentality. What is my neighbor doing in cybersecurity? Are they investing in big ticket item A? Or what about big ticket item B? was big ticket item C listed as a magic quadrant, whatever. And oftentimes that's a horrible way of really kind of picking the chess pieces that you need for your respective playbook in building out a program. It's very easy to do because it kind of follows the adage of you never, get in trouble for picking that big dog in the room, right? Especially when that big dog is being advertised at the most iconic conferences worldwide. It's supporting your local conferences and things like that. It's taking out your executives out to dinner, etc. But at the end, this message, I started out by saying that this is a call to action for all the service providers that are out there, right? Whether you're developing innovative technology or providing innovative managed services as an MSSP, it's being able to make sure that your vision and your mission stays true. We're all collectively battling, again, that epidemic of poor security hygiene that's out there affecting any industry, whether it be manufacturing, whether it be energy sector, retail, fintech, banking, insurance, the list goes on. There is plenty of opportunity for companies to get lost in the mission of having an exit for those product-based companies, predominantly. But it's important to be able to look at the bigger picture. Now, on the services side, I'm the CEO of a global cybersecurity company, and one of the reasons that we haven't taken an influx of money is because we want to make sure that when and if we do, the mission stays true, right? The mission of providing the best possible service that's tailored, that's contextual to the attack surfaces of our customers, the industry that is providing some inherent level of threats affecting, players in that industry, and so forth. So as conferences go on, as PE firms continue to invest in product, it's important for all participants in the cybersecurity industry to be able to understand what's really happening behind the scenes. What are the true intentions behind service providers, product providers, and the backers of those respective types of companies? Because otherwise, we're going to have a missed opportunity of actually making change that's sustainable in the areas that we need to have change in, whether it be with application security, cloud security, supply chain issues, human mitigating against rising and more tactical social engineering attempts that are a lot more targeted in nature, and so forth and so on. So it's important to be able to truly take a step back, try to define the status quo, the current of trend and streams of noise that exist, where there's a lot of propaganda. Distinguish the security propaganda with the insightful, innovative, and tailored players that want to be able to change your respective security programs out there. They're definitely out there. We have had great partnerships with technology companies, also service-based companies that really want to, that are passionate about making a change, right? That are trying to improve, for example, product assurance in consumer electronics or in commercial technologies where human life is at stake, whether it be medical devices or aviation. So call to action, whether you're just graduating right now and you're looking to get into this industry, or you're a veteran and you've been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years. There is signs all over the place for where vision and mission can get contaminated by the business of selling cybersecurity. So just a call to action for all those out there, for those that are passionate about cybersecurity, stay true to the mission, and then work with those that want to support your vision and mission with some level of autonomy and passion for doing the right thing and being a good steward of this amazing and ever-changing industry. This is Tony UV signing off for VerSprite, and have a great one.